Okay, so good evening, everyone. We are Group 5, and today we will be presenting to you our insights and knowledge on what we have learned throughout the semester. But before that, we actually answered this question in preparation for our discussion for today. So, thank you for attending. Salamat sa mga members ko na rin. So, now, the first question will be, uh, what are the things that you learned under Module 1 and what do you think or why do you think logic important? So kindly explain this in your own perspective or opinion. So the floor is now yours. So just open your mic and then answer.
Thank you, Jade. So I'll be answering
Yes.
this. So to start off, one idea that I always think about is how we're always surrounded by maths. So we're always surrounded by different types of maths that minsan unconsciously pa natin na-apply in our daily lives. So this type of mathematics is heavily related to mathematical logic. Kaya it's really an important aspect to learn about to improve our daily lives. So sa module 1 of our course, Math in the Modern World, we studied this and it made me realize na it's really helpful para mapa-improve talaga yung mga buhay natin in simple ways. So, paano nga ba? One of the things I noticed is that it really teaches you critical thinking skills. So parang it teaches you to think logically, systematically, and critically, which are essential skills of a student for the understanding and learning of mathematical proofs. It would be easier to learn how to identify and avoid common fallacies and also how to construct valid arguments. So, isa pang naisip ko is that it enhances problem-solving skills. So, it teaches you how to analyze problems, develop solutions. It does this by breaking problems into smaller and more manageable parts. So, napansin ko to when we make our truth table. So, sa module 1 din to. At first, parang natakot ako kasi it looked really demanding. Pero I realized na I just had to do it step by step and make it easier for me to understand. So the third one I noticed is that logic also enhances people's communication skills. This is because mathematical logic requires precise language and clear communication talaga. So by studying mathematical logic, people can develop skills in writing and speaking clearly and logically talaga. Kasi minsan, it gets really difficult to not mess up your wording. And so, logical maths really train one to improve how they say their thoughts and ideas. So, yung tatlong points na yon, all of those made me realize na logic is really one of the fundamental principles in mathematics. So, yun lang yung sagot ko sa first question.
Okay, so I actually thank you, Nick, for sharing that information, especially you explained well the concepts on paano natin gamitin ito. Especially, we are applying here the, set of language that would actually help us realize on the mathematical reasoning and the logical aspect of the module. So I guess you could say that it's actually one of the challenging part of the lessons that we have tackled during the session. But yes, I think that's enough. Your explanation actually summarize everything. So now let us proceed on question number 2. So the question is, what voting method do you think should be replaced the plurality method used in the Philippine presidential elections? So who wants to answer on this part?
Ako na lang.
Okay. So I guess Dianna.
So,
Thank you.
So, di ba we're using plurality method as of the moment in Philippine presidential elections? So,
Yes.
while it is really okay and okay naman gumagana naman siya sa atin for the thousands of years, may certain flaw lang within that specific method. It's a plurality method. Everyone's just going to be nominated and the most number of votes, siya yung panalo. So, para sa akin, I believe that the hair system method is the best method para sa presidential elections in the Philippines. So, bakit? Kasi, ang definition ng hair system is that it is determined to repeatedly delete yung candidates that are least preferred in the stages. So, they may emerge that after all other candidates have been deleted or when there is a tie among two or more candidates, magkakaroon siya ng elimination round that, yun nga, further explain naman to sa ating classes in GEMA. So, I think mas okay ito since dito mas nagkakaroon ng one-on-one yung mga people na nominated to better see kung sino talaga yung best among the best when it comes to our candidates. Kasi, di ba what happens, di ba? Sa lahat ng yung plurality, so kung sino yung number one votes, siya na yung mananalo. Per se, meron tayong 4 na candidates. Tapos, yung meron tayo, in the perspective of the voter, is meron tayong sabihin natin 2 candidates na bet. But we can only vote for one, di ba, in the plurality method. So after that, binote natin yung top 1 natin. Tapos, hindi siya nakasali sa top 3. So parang, may isip mo na dapat ang sumunod na priority mo, yung yung binote mo. So parang mas may chance yung second priority. But, if prefer mo yung isa over the other candidates, may tendency na wala ka ng choice, yung nanalo is yung hindi mo prefer. So parang nahahati yung votes. Yun yung nangyayari. So, kung hair system naman yung method na gagawin natin, if kunwari you voted for your first choice, tapos nalaglag siya sa first elimination, di ba? So, you can vote for your second choice sa second elimination until sa one-on-one na lang yung candidate. So, in this way, parang nasasala talaga yung presidential candidate. Tapos, hindi nahahati yung votes ng mga tao in specific numbers. So, sa plurality method kasi, pumapasok dito yung political strategies. Diba? At these strategies, ano yung mga example nito? For example, may dalawang naglalaban ng committees or political systems. Tapos, mag-i-introduce sila ng panibagong candidate para mahati yung votes ng specific party list. Yung parang gano'n. So, hindi mangyayari yun kung meron tayong hair system. So, sa ganitong system, is magiging clear yung winner. Tapos, hindi lang isa kasing beses bumoto yung mga tao. So, ilang beses din nila na-rethink yung decisions niya. Yun.
Okay, so, yeah, I think tama naman yung sinabi ni Dianna, right? So, the other ways or best alternative for plurality or majority method is to have the hair system because syempre, we need to try other things aside from those methods, especially we are electing a president and we want it to be more dapat hindi siya nadadaya or what. So we need to choose other alternatives to ensure that all of these are, transparent na rin. So on this part, I think Philippines is one of the examples of this the ways of method. So they should think other alternatives for this one. So thank you, Diana, for sharing your insights on this part. So for the next question naman, we have number 3. So this scopes naman dun sa investing part. So for the question, do you save money ba? So do you have any investments as early as now in the future? Which investment option would you venture? So who wants to answer naman sa inyo? So si Diana ulit. So thank you, Diana.
So, yes, so first question, I do save money, but given the inflation, diba? So right now, it's not that religiously as I did before. So I was a big saver talaga bago mag-pandemic. However, I think yung pagbabago rin ng lifestyle as I get older. So, nakakadagdag sa expenses, gano'n. So, saving is very much harder to perform right now. Given na mababa lang din yung baon na meron tayo. Tapos super taas ng expenses and yung mga prices na meron tayo in Lasal. So, we have to consider those if ever we have to answer that question like, do I save money? But perfectly, yeah, medyo nakaka-save naman ng money, just not religiously. Tapos, next question is, do you have any investments as early as now? So, no investments for me, aside from my education. Of course, it's not, it's a non-cash asset that I try to invest. So, medyo tight-knit ang financial. So, medyo mahirap gawin for me yung investments as of the time. Especially bata pa. So, pero medyo kailangan naman natin mag-invest more in ourselves bago sa financials. Since hindi pa natin kontrolado yung pinaka-financials natin. So, lastly, in the future, which investment option would I venture? So, in the future, of course, super duper plan is to have investments. It's my priority in my career life goals for expenses, and then emergency fund, and then investments, and then more investments. So, if ever since meron different types of investments like stocks and bonds and mutual funds na discuss natin in GEMAT, I think personally, mas mag-venture ako with stocks since I am more inclined to this kind of investments, lalo na put into use natin yung degrees natin dyan as econ majors to actually forecast what kind of companies yung magpo-fall or mag-rise, diba? Within the future given the state of economics. Tapos, and other, siguro mag-function din here yung other internal and external factors na makaka-affect sa performance ng company. So, syempre, once we completed the degree, meron talaga tayong specific subjects na magtuturo sa atin on how to forecast. So, itong company na to, maganda pang mag-invest dito. Short term or long term pa dapat natin to. Kailan natin dapat i-invest and kailan natin i-harvest. Yung mga ganon. So, syempre, timing is very important. So, with more education in terms of that, kailangan mas mag-focus tayo in those factors. So, having such capacity, I think I will make stock investments perfect for me kasi mas malaki din yung returns niya kumpara dun sa bonds and mutual funds. Mas malaki lang din yung risk niya, pero of course may balak naman ako maging active within the investment. So personally ko siya makakandal in the future. Unlike syempre kung walang time and busy both sa professional and personal life. So mag-mutual funds na lang tayo para may manager na mag-handle sa investments. But overall, yeah, stocks ang pinaka-personal for me. Yun lang naman.
Okay. So, wow, that was a thorough explanation, Dianna. So, actually, while listening to your perspective on investing naman, I think it's good na early as now, since we're also students, na we have this idea or concept on what we are going to do, especially in the future. Syempre, di ba, if we are investing as early as now, in the future, makaka-benefit din tayo dito. Though it's not certain or 100%, but syempre, we are taking those risk and factors to consider para makaisip tayo if makaka-gain ba tayo dito or we will just incur loss. So, di ba sa topic natin previously sa GEMAT, we have Investogram. So, sa Investogram, dito pa lang, natatest na tayo kung makakakuha ba tayo ng profit or magkakaroon lang tayo ng loss lalo. So, I think na-explain naman here ni Dianna yung stocks, bonds, and I think she also explained that if those concepts or ideas would not benefit us, much better kung sa mutual funds na lang tayo mag-stick. So, okay, I think let us proceed naman sa next question. So, on this one, why do you think that people should learn about coding theory and cryptography. So, you can explain it naman. So, anybody please?
I will answer the question, Jay.
Thank you, Sala.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm gonna answer this question based sa research ko, sa mga na-research ko, and also from what I learned from the discussion in GE Math. So, I'm gonna explain this in simple terms lang, hindi ko na iko-complicate. Coding theory and cryptography are well-known or popular fields of information security. So they are both necessary for today's growing technology. To emphasize lang, as new technologies become more prevalent, threats and malicious attackers such as identity theft and fraud are also on the rise. So, which is why it is very important to learn about coding theory and cryptography. So, cryptography plays an important role in our information security by offering methods and techniques to safeguard our data, whether the data is stored on our electronic devices or transmitted through the internet. So the question that requires serious attention is how can we protect our data or information from identity theft and fraud? So with the help of coding theory along with modern cryptography, it has the objective of protecting information, and it also serves as an important tool to solve real-world problems and issues that call for information security. Um, Basically, a simplified model of cryptography assumes that the sender encrypts data to make it unreadable by any spy or hacker, except for the legitimate receiver who can decrypt the data. In other words, ulit, so basically, cryptography can ensure the confidentiality and integrity of both data in transit as well as data at rest. So, maraming firms and iba't ibang individuals utilizes cryptography on a daily basis. So, to protect their privacy, kasi 'di ba in a firm, maraming mga secrets dyan or data na need protektahan. So, by using cryptography alongside with coding theory, it ensures confidentiality by encrypting sent messages using an algorithm with a key only known to the sender and recipient. Um, Also, yun nga, as I've said a while ago, the main objectives of modern cryptography is data integrity, confidentiality, authentication, and secret sharing. Kaya it is very important for people talaga to learn this to reduce the risk of threats. That would be my answer for the question, Jean.
Okay, so thank you for your detailed explanation here, Sala. So I think we really learned something about that. Excuse me. Especially, di ba, we need to ensure that all of our information is secured on this type of algorithm, and we don't want other companies or people to jeopardize our, privacy. So next question naman, I think, why should or in what way can you see or use linear programming, transportation problems, and or assignment problems models in your everyday life? So we'll answer this question.
Okay, I'm gonna answer the question ulit. So, di ba during our discussion in GEMAT, we learned a lot about linear programming and transportation problems. So when it comes to linear programming, we have to emphasize the word optimization. We all have resources, times, and we want to make the most out of them, di ba? So when we are making decisions, we always consider variables, constraints, and different factors before making that particular decision. So we can apply linear programming in our daily lives by always choosing the best possible solutions to the problem, given the constraints that we have. For example, diba, commuting from home to De La Salle University. So when it comes to commuting, we always consider yung constraints like traffic, yung pera, diba? So the best solution na ito-take natin is to take the shortest route na walang traffic. So yung walang traffic and mura lang. Like taking the LRT and MRT, yung mabilis ang transportation na mura. So basically, yung linear programming is a mathematical technique is a mathematical technique to help find the best possible solution to a problem that has multiple objectives and limited resources. When it comes to transportation problems naman, di ba, as an econ majors, we can utilize transportation problems on how to allocate goods given the limited supplies that we have. We can use our knowledge of transportation problems to strategize inputs and supplies and how we can fulfill different demands from consumers to achieve their highest level or of satisfaction or utility given the limited resources that we have. So overall, and to sum up, then, linear programming and transportation problems helps us to choose the best decisions to solve our problems given the constraints and limited resources. Yun lang.
Okay, thank you, Sala. So, the next question is, do you easily see patterns in nature, arts, crafts, and designs? Why or why not? Do you think beauty can be measured as suggested by the golden ratio? So, who wants to answer on this question?
Okay, so ako na lang ulit mag-answer. So for me, when I first look at nature, arts, crafts, and designs, I don't really immediately see the patterns involved that make it beautiful. So in my case, I appreciate muna the beauty of it with my own preferences. Then after nun, that's when I see and actually observe na the patterns that make it likable for me and other people. Pero definitely, I think most things in the world has patterns that make them unique and give them their own definition of beauty, using the golden ratio. Pero yun nga, there's a lot of other aspects to consider. But the concept is just that I would say it's an aesthetically pleasing to the eye ratio for most people. Pero people talaga are unique with one another. And iba-iba talaga yung how they see beauty and things. Overall, beauty can be measured as suggested by the golden ratio. Pero it's really subjective talaga, depending on each person. So that's it for me.
Okay, so thank you, Nick, for your answers. And yeah, actually, it's subjective since you can't really measure beauty, and it's up to the people since we have different standards naman. So we can always see it on our own na lang. And then, for the next question
Jade,
naman.
ako naman magtatanong sa'yo. Ayan.
Oh, ano yun?
So,
Okay, sige.
during the course, ano naman yung most and least favorite module or topic na na-encounter mo?
Okay, so upon thinking yung dito sa favorite module ko, I think it would be this game theory. Why? Because at first I was quite confused, but compared to other topics naman, you can think of this as some sort of a game that we need to dissect, strategize, and create a feasible solution that would actually give us an idea on what can be the most effective solution to a specific problem. So this actually made me feel that makakapag-come up tayo ng maraming option, and we just narrow it down into a smallest choices para makapili tayo if this certain aspect that we need to choose is much better compared to that other option. So aside from that, this is also the way to determine whether our opponent or nemesis's way of competing. So madedetermine din natin yung individual behavior nila on dealing things. So aside from that, this would also help us on eating, playing, purchasing, and other life-related problems that would be apparent to further reflect on its principles. So, di ba, okay na alam natin ito since we all know naman na kapag gumagawa tayo, we always decide on the things that we do not want since, di ba, ayaw naman natin na malugi tayo, especially we want our decision to be decisive, and at the same time, we are justifying the things that we are doing. Also, we tend to think about kung ano nga bang gagawin natin sa isang araw, then we are going to choose that because we are more fulfilled on what we could gain from it. So in other cases, such as businesses, it can also help us negotiate. So keep in mind na lang din na game theory does not only reflect to these competitions, but it also help individuals to overcome these unexpected problems. So in the future, when we face this, we can actually decide. Syempre, we have options din naman. So, yun nga, I think that sums it up kung bakit ito yung pinaka-favorite subject. So for the least favorite subject naman, I guess we could all agree that one of the major considerations when we are choosing this is that the factors that made us really, hard to decide this on this matter, because actually cryptography is one of the most complicated for me na rin. Kasi syempre, investing is good, but you can't really be certain if we could gain from it. Yeah, we could actually gain from it, but we need to consider these factors on this part, since we will be waiting if nakagain na ba tayo ng profit, or we are keep on losing our income or net income, to be precise na rin. So, hindi natin sure if in the future we will be benefiting from it, since, ayun, nakadepende pa rin siya sa behavior ng individuals and behavior ng market. So, with that said, as of the moment, we can invest, we try to invest para naman in the future. So, hindi naman, we could say na kahit least favorite subject natin siya, it doesn't mean na we won't be doing this in the future. So that would be all. Thank you.
Ayan, sige. Last naman na sabi na lang here, give 3 words to describe this course. Gusto niyo ba
Okay.
lahat tayo magbigay na ba? No explanations. Just give 3 words.
Okay, so I guess since ako yung nasa nagsalita, then I'll give mine. So 3 words to describe this course. Actually, first one is challenging. Number 2, life-changing. And lastly, practical. So that's for me. So how about other people naman?
Sige, ako mauna. Tapos sunod na lang kayo. So sa akin, complicated, but helpful, and also logical. Yun. Next.
Okay, ako naman. Naisip ko agad is kind of weird, pero naisip ko it's kind of exciting kasi it's new to me. Parang I expect na alam ko na yung mga lessons, pero di pala, marami pa rin pala akong di alam. And then, intriguing kasi yun nga, it's new to me. Tapos, ang fun pala, like, pag natutunan mo na kung paano gawin yung mga lessons, it gets fun. And then, confusing. Kasi, madaming concepts na kailangan talaga tandaan. Yun na.
Sa akin naman, actually useful siya sa life. Very analytical. Like marami kang need na i-analyze. And then lastly is very interesting siya for me,
Ayan, so I guess everyone naman ay nakapag-provide na ng kanilang opinions on the course itself. So again, I thank everyone for participating on this discussion. You answered all the questions based on your own perspective naman. So I guess we could end the session with a round of applause na rin. Palakpak na rin kayo lahat. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I know that you work hard on this course in order to pass na rin. So that's it for today's session. Bye-bye.